Okay, so look at this. I'm in the start of the game. This is the starting city, and there's a tunnel that says factory. When you go through it, though, you stumble upon this crazy structure. This isn't like any other factory I've seen, and it's so big, it fades into the sky. This is like the first thing that I saw that I was like, wait, is this game really about just delivering stuff? And now I have way more questions. So if I try to drive this road to get to the factory, it just straight up ends. It looks like the factory is just here to diegetically power the city. If you've ever played a game that has a soundtrack, usually that soundtrack is quote unquote non-diegetic, which means that it doesn't necessarily exist in the game world, but it's still in the game regardless to provide like atmosphere or something. But in this game, all of the music is diegetic. So this is a great example of diegetic sound. I'm getting towards the radio tower and my radio signal has actually just changed and it says low signal right now. Now it's going to switch to the music and it's kind of faint and quiet because there's like a low connection right now. But the closer I get to the radio tower, the more clear it becomes. So now I'm like right next to this radio tower and it's like super clear. When I leave the car, you know, I can still hear it because it's in the car and I'm probably playing it pretty loud, honestly. But there's no sound outside of here because the sound's in the car. It's in the game world. It makes sense in the game world. They do a really good job of keeping the diegesis alive. I never questioned why there wasn't anyone outside. It's really, really cold outside. It kind of avoids some things you would question in other games, the usual this is a video game things, by answering the question through the environment. So this is when I started noticing all of the, hey, I'm about to spoil the entire game, so you should probably play it. It only takes like about 6 hours to beat, and it's pretty cheap. So if you like Death Stranding but a K-Truck, maybe you should play it and then come back to this video and see if you missed any details that I'm gonna talk about. So this is when I started noticing all of the dialogue and how the shopkeepers actually talk to you. They're constantly dropping little hints to progress the story. I don't know how it happened. I must have short-circuited. You must have short-circuited? What's really in these deliveries? I had to check, but that's exactly what they want me to do. So you don't know what's in the deliveries, bro? You should know, you packed it. They'll still make you pay, it's not their fault. They'll still make you pay, it's not their fault. And I also started noticing some things that were a little bit less diegetic and more just gamey nonsense. Maybe I should just do Clifton so that I can... Oh my god. There's an empty box. There's nothing in there. You just gave me an empty box to deliver, like, 2 miles. These aren't real deliveries, man. I just delivered stuff here and it's not even picked up yet. Please, I'm worried about Ellie. Could you try to go check on them? When I try to leave this spot, I free SD49 error up. You're a robot, bro? Am I also a robot? So am I literally just... Seb! I got the bobblehead from Seb's old body, which is why it was next to the K-Truck. When I was playing the game for the first time, that didn't even enter my mind that could be a possibility. Even when I found out that everyone around me was a robot, it still took me a little bit to be like, wait, I'm a robot too. It's so cool. I love that. It also explains why the light turns on, because it's all automated. And that's also why I have an energy level instead of like I need to sleep or something. It's all hidden in plain sight. Like I can't read the signs, but I can read them and it feels like I'm scanning them. And the twist, it's not like it's being hidden. I saw the factory. I love that the game closes the gaps so well. You get cold. You have to drink coffee. It really tries to sell you the idea that you're human, but then it hits you upside the head. That's why they don't leave their shop. That's why they have very specific personalities that are basically one note. You got the woke guy. You got the people in love. And like the person playing obviously knows that it's a game. And so we don't really ask questions when we have a little screen pop up. Or the fact that we have like a heads-up display showing us the radio and the amount of money we have and the time. We simply don't question that because we're playing a video game. We don't question the fact that the roads are covered in snow because it's a video game. We're like, oh, oh, this is just like a little bit of obstacles, a little bit of like interesting terrain. But then the game recontextualizes it in that no one's actually using these roads except for the delivery driver. Like, we think that people are just mistaking us for Seb because I kind of look like him, maybe. The game recontextualizes that once more, and it says that no, you literally look like Seb, because when you go and pick up the bobblehead from the guy with the stuck K-truck, you pick up a bobblehead of yourself! The only thing, in my opinion, that you could argue is there because it's a video game is the perspective. But also, it's in such an angle that it feels like a security camera. It feels like maybe like a drone or even a bird. Maybe the reason they have birdseed is so that the robots get tricked into being surveilled, watched by the birds. I mean, you would even argue that this is a bird's eye view! Dude, I love that when the game starts, it literally tells you you're a robot, but you're like, oh nice, it's an intro to a game where you start the computer and then you play the game. But no, in the contextualization of the game, you are the computer and you are starting up, bro. It's sick. I love games that like really plan their obfuscation. Like certain parts of the game, they just straight up show you that you're a robot. But there's other parts of the game that are like, oh no, you know, we're just trying to act like people. That's what's so cool, is that the dialogue breaks. It feels like everything you do in the game, everything you see, everything you experience is building towards that epiphany of like, wait, holy shit. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not controlling the person that I think I'm controlling. And there's parts of the game that you don't even question. But once you find out you're a robot, it all becomes diegetic. It's sick. It's cool. See, it makes sense why the radios play the exact same radio station. Because they're robots, bro. They don't actually care about music. You only care about music because you thought you were a person. It also makes sense that there's no light anywhere, because the robots don't need light if they can see. This game kind of gives you the tools to figure stuff out, but it doesn't really stop there, because you can keep on ruminating and keep on finding new ways of how the game portrays its diegesis. It's also cool to observe how our own minds fill in our own gaps. All the shopkeepers, all of the characters are animals, and we don't question that because that's just how it is. And so when a dog is whistling, we don't think about it too hard. But then once you realize that everyone's a robot, first of all, it makes sense why everyone's an animal, because they're not actually animals, they're robots. And now the dog isn't whistling because robots can't whistle. So and dogs can't whistle either. But robots can make sounds. Oh, I need more firewood in there. I didn't even notice. It went out. I didn't know it could go out. Like, there's so much attention to detail in this game that, like, I'm giving them the credit. You can even argue that it makes sense why my hands are not connected to my body. They're connected in, like, a future, you know, gravity, electronic sort of way. Yeah, it could be the art style. All of that can be contextualized in what we know now about the characters and the nature of the game. The fact that you're a robot even diegeticizes the graphics. The world could look completely real, but through your robot eyes, it's all crunchy and, like, approximate. It also makes sense that I don't talk and that I'm still in good standing with everyone. It's because they don't care if I talk or not. They're robots. They just need me to pick up the delivery of the stuff that they don't even know what it is. And the fact that they're all robots also contextualizes the fact that you can find these snowcats. These are probably old robots that got decommissioned or discontinued or just froze to the point where they don't work anymore. My joints seem to be freezing up. SEO8 error state, trouble connecting to EasyCo servers. Now it's really like it's like, hey, if you didn't get it yet, we're all robots out here. It seems like the payload just appears, but since we're a robot, we're probably not programmed to see the helicopter or whatever dropping it off. So to our eyes, it just seems like it spawns in. You can also argue that the contextualization of what the tracks are named keeps it diegetic. The only ones that actually listen to the radio are the delivery ones. So of course all the delivery music would be called something that has to do with the delivery. Okay, so now the factory presents itself and comes back to haunt us. Once again, I would go with you, but my programming doesn't seem to allow it. It's also interesting because when you actually die, or when you get too cold, it seems like you get sent into the factory. And I think that's like you're remembering your past programming. And also like the fact that this game is technically not like a horror game, but there is a lot of like atmospheric unsettliness. Like there's no jump scares, there's no monsters, but it's still just weird to have a world that you thought was a living, breathing world be like one made out of electronic parts and pieces. That in itself is kind of unsettling. Like technology can go this far. And I think that's the real point of the game, is to kind of show that even if this was possible, it would be much easier than you think to hide it. Anyway, they got their recovery data or what? Time to repair and restore the SD units. Have an easy day, bro. So yeah, Sam C, you made a good one with this one, bro. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, you can like the video, and then you can also subscribe if you want to see more videos that I'm gonna make. I like talking about indie games, so I'm gonna do more of that. And yeah, comment down below of any more details that I might have missed about Easy Delivery Co. So thank you again, and bye.